Here we go.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
And I took off my robe without Phoenix needing to do it.
Your Eminence. It seems the princess is more grown up than you thought. Rafa.
Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I just love how everyone disappears but her in this section.
She's a lot more confident looking in this animation. Her
Yep.
facial expressions are more honed.
All right. What was Inga's last moments?
And if we don't see anything past the bubbles, we die. Grapes, huh? Sour.
Man's voice. Is this his own voice?
Pain.
That is
What in the? A faceless being? I knew it. He has some sort of image. This was covered in a different game. This is an actual thing, by the way. It's when people have the difficulty describing a person's characteristics, right? So what it means is he's taking down the descriptions because that is his identifier to who's there. So someone had to probably put on you know whose stuff and then set it up. The other thing is what he looked at when he popped up.
actually Dirk.
I think it was the statue. What the heck? His face. It's just like the picture of the founder.
think that's the last thing anyone expected to see.
Oh, Father, what was it? What was it that you saw? Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw? Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed. How very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup? What a
Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone.
You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. That laugh. Who does it belong to and why are they laughing?
Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband.
Uh-huh. But the figure didn't even have a mouth.
Ha ha ha. I think we're done here, lawyer.
How so?
You claim that Mr. Inga was stabbed in his private quarters. And, feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. Yeah, the seance disproves that. But the seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb and felt great pain, no less.
Oh, that.
Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb.
Ah, everything just backfired, big time.
Wow. Garan has the devil's own luck, doesn't she?
Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother.
Would grape juice be sour? Shouldn't it be sweet?
Yeah, so that could be swapped. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh.
Okay, that one is a contradiction. Because the shot hit the statue on the side.
Yeah.
In the opposite direction.
Well, the right direction, right? So he fell left, but his body went right, so there was a flip. Huh, so what now, Mr. Right?
It's up to us to knock holes in Rafa's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove her understanding of them could be mistaken.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
I mean, I doubt the sour taste means anything.
His footsteps, of course. The man's voice is right there.
It could be
So why
him
didn't
praying.
You can't see the source of the pain, and he looks left. So we have the crime scene photo, which should change his perception. Wait, is he on the phone with the man's voice? Is he like this, walking like ding, 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 ding?
I think it might be this. I don't think it's Dirk's voice. There's a chance it's like not Dirk's voice.
Yeah.
Like, who would he be talking to on the phone now?
But he's, yeah, like,
Unless there's another man involved we just haven't heard from yet.
Objection!
there seems to be inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency where? Mr. Ingo was far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. Just kept looking at the picture of the founder. It's true. Ah. That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the founder's orb. But when he heard that the voice, he didn't even turn to look? Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Ah, my Marilyn Monroe-ness. Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend.
Objection!
But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk.
The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb.
Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice?
You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. The phone! With it, we might be able to figure out whose voice it was.
It's politician! I assume it wants this because it shows his phone.
Yeah.
Take that!
That's my father's. I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us toward the identity of the voice.
Take that!
A cell phone? Why haven't we investigated the cell phone earlier? Right, I believe that's the voice that the minister heard. It was of a call on a cell phone. I see, well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter?
I concede the possibility.
Huh, then it seems I must refine my vision. Subordinate. It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates. Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then? My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you, which happened. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise.
I know, barbed head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty.
So the voice was coming from the phone. It's good to know. There might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. let's take another look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Gets a call, picks it up, starts walking, right? Puts the phone to his ear, starts hearing a sound. I knew it! Someone's calling him from the
From the bazaar.
bazaar. Okay, now we need to like... So the dog just barked at the bazaar. That's literally next to next. That coincides with you-know-who's story, and we got the time now. And when was that time?
2 p.m.
So is there a time we could talk about, like, specifically?
At around 2 p.m. So no, we need to play this up until right here, and then took a call from the subordinate at the palace. The subordinate is not at the palace because they are at the bazaar.
Yeah.
Objection!
I hate to break it to you, Benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. He took a call from Datsar Ball.
No shot, Dats is not actually an insurgent.
Datsar Ball was literally just doing that whole thing with and whatnot, and then who saw him? He would have seen a high-ranking official to run. Wait. The explosion might have been the gunshot heard in the...
The explosion was the firecracker.
Oh, snap. And there's only one secret tunnel from there to there. What do you mean again?
Smooth, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on.
Let me rephrase that, Your Benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call with subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claim the call was to someone at the palace. But let me ask you, do you keep lions there? No. The only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog.
Oh, she has a frog.
I like that. Wait. That giant one in front of the minister's house is a pet. That's a big frog. Besides, there aren't any lions in Karine. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid.
Rafa, if you help us get a not guilty verdict, we will help you get a zoo. We'll help you get a zoo here. And just take you to one in America.
America. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. Isn't that the cry of the war bat over in the bazaar? Ah! Your Benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision. What's this? Just as I suspected. It was a call of a war bat. That means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have?
The time of death.
Time of death. Very.
Very important.
It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that a loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area.
Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafe is the real source of that sound.
Will do. Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of the explosive sound? The firecrackers.
I think we gotta present this one.
Yeah, surprised by a firecracker. What is that? It's "I'll be your guide" statement. In it, he claims that Datsar Ball threw a firecracker at him when he was at the bazaar. Then... yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Ah!
And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Mr. Inga's gun. How do you explain that? After he died, the killer shot a bullet? Duh.
Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? Ooh.
No, I have none. Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been...
It's our ball laughing?
No, it can't be.
Oh, it can, and it is. The laugh came from none other than the Joker, who got a kick out of starting Albi with his Dragon Snot stamps. The happy-go-lucky Datsar Ball. What?
Someone should really put a leash on that guy.
I shudder to think how one man could be the cause of so much trouble.
Hey
Laughing in the courtroom.
there, AJ. PW. Y'all can thank me later.
No, that's for your commentary, Mr. Arbol.
Okay,
I
that's
can just picture him sitting in the gallery shouting that over.
that's just a little bit crazy, but he is an amazing character here.
Lord. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight? It would appear so. And that's at 2.
Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again.
Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency.
All right, let's watch through again and see if anything else has changed.
More footsteps after. He's on the phone.
Oh, I think I get it.
What'd you notice? Is it with one of the statements or is it with the explosion?
Now, consider what we've already discussed.
Yeah.
At 2 p.m., at around 3 p.m.,
Ah, there we go.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be this.
Objection!
Hold up. Your benevolence, there's a glaring problem with this insight. There is. You stated that the murder happened at around 3, which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3?
Take that!
I'll be your guide statement again? Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m.?
Was the clocks around the area changed?
How would you think that?
Because everyone's saying it was around 3 p.m. Like we were even like, everyone was like, yeah, it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. But it's 2 o'clock when he dies. There's no way he was dead in there for an hour, right?
He could be frozen in the sarcophagus for a bit. Pulled out. After all, it's an empty slate, right? That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m.
But also, we have witnesses saying they saw him going there too, at around 3 p.m. Like, I'm very confused about the timeline here.
Okay, so the big thing is with Rafa's seen him walking in, right?
Because this picture was being taken at 2 p.m. as well, supposedly.
Yeah. This is after he supposedly died, right? Because the dog would have had to run up, and I'll be your guide would have had to gone up and take the photo.
Are you suggesting?
I think you know where I'm going with this. Dad's laugh and the cry of the warbad, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that C's final moments were at 2 rather than 3, as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Apalkanka!
How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Rip her nails.
Now you see why justice will always prevail. Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. You're absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain about who it was. Furthermore, I need to remind you that the vision is from 2 p.m. Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference? Wait, 2 o'clock, that's when? my mother was performing the rite of channeling.
The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for that rite. Don't tell me.
The royal residence, it would have been virtually unguarded. Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused? That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Objection.
Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is a mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been clear as day.
You know what? I have a problem with this, though, because that clears Garan as the murderer, because technically at 2 she was busy.
Yep.
And
I never thought she was the killer of Inga.
I kept it there because she's obviously the villain, right? She's obviously the murderer of the last one, right? Once we unlock that, she's obviously the murderer.
Well, we know that Amara is alive, so that means Jove is like the only one that died in the incident, so she's the one that killed Jove.
Yep. Now let's play forehead bingo. Go to the character chart and look for anyone with circles on their heads.
Well, Dirk has a diamond.
Right, Dirk has a diamond.
Nayuta has a circle.
Anyone else with lovely diamonds?
I'll be the...
Oh.
It's all me.
More importantly, go back one. Hey,
Dana.
diamond. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is why?
Paulo. Maybe the killer couldn't afford to be so bold. Because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. Yeah, Inga's vision must not be that good.
What?
It's possible that the killer dared to dress it in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga.
Precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that?
A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it?
Then are you saying this is literally how Inga saw the world?
Yes. We can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life.
Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had some disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But
If you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need.
really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show this to court? Yes, I believe so.
You know, your camera fuzzing out is making me think I have this disorder and seeing your face on on the camera.
You guys wanted the disorder?
It has not blurred out yet.
I know, this looks awkward. Dang it. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Right means, but I'll look at evidence over again.
Mhm.
No, I was pretty accurate about him having this, though.
Take that!
As soon as I saw the notepad. Shoutouts to the Nonary Games. A notepad. Yeah, so it's found in Minister Inga's room. And it holds the answer to what we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to a faceless nature of the killer and how. The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw this killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being. And why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you?
He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use keeping it quiet now about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term is Prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia.
So, Mr. Wright was right. The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is a precedent for this.
So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage.
So there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction.
And Nana would be perfect for that.
So would Nayuta.
Yeah, Nayuta would... Well, would Nayuta? We don't know that for sure.
Nayuta is literally the lapdog of him and would know about the divination seance because he literally lawyers it all the time. Right? Who knew about your husband's condition?
A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you're not about to insinuate that I committed this crime?
Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it?
Garan has an alibi.
Yeah.
Remember?
All right, she was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m.
Or was this actually at 3?
Actually, a what?
If this, like, cause like I feel like stuff did happen at 3, but like we don't have like the clocks. There could have been clock changes. Everyone was like, yeah, this cram. He went in at about 3.
Yeah, but at 3 we were sitting with her, right? Both Phoenix and you know who was waiting outside with the Queen.
But we know Inga actually died at 2. So her being was at 3. But like we don't know. There could be some time messing about. So I feel like clocks were messed with.
I don't think the clocks were messed with. I don't think she actually committed this. In that case, Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder?
Of course she does. She is our head servant.
So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what will.
Objection!
You witless lawyer. How quick you are to forget the facts.
Facts like...
When Inga was last seen alive, you claimed he was slain at 2. Yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30.
Oh, what?
Rafe is mistaken about the time then. That's the only way. Literally, we have concrete proof from her seance that he died at 2. So when she saw him going there, it was at 1:30. Her clock is an hour off. We did completely forget about that.
No, there must be some mistake.
So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There is no other answer to this puzzle. We have.
How do we ever get to make up answers like Iran makes up laws? Then again, she was without attendant for a while, right? And maybe she's not used to reading a clock.
Guess it's back to square one.
Where did we go wrong?
I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30.
I see, and without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart.
Apollo, if Inga
Does Rafa have the same disease?
No, I don't think so. Or does she? Because she keeps calling us Barbed Head.
And Hornhead.
And Hornhead. I forget what she called Athena.
Spider Leg. I don't think she saw Athena, actually. I don't remember her having much of a convo there.
Just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture.
Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Ingo walking around after he'd been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Spirit channeling.
Like a way to make people witness the living dead?
Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life.
Apollo, did you just...
I did. I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will. Because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga in her benevolence saw was a fact. I'm thinking he's channeled.
I don't see how that's possible, though. Maya's tied up in there. Garan is in the palace doing a thing with someone from another country. So how could who else could do the channeling?
I think someone was bestowed the power, and that lady by the name of Nana. Nana can channel.
But we have no precedent to know that yet. Okay, or is it a ghost? It's totally a ghost.
Why do you do me this way? It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence. Channeled, you say? That's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Karai. Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister.
No, it's not. It would seem that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence, I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too.
Now you 2 have to keep up with your schedule, too, huh? What doesn't you make him do?
Then that leaves only Maya.
Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. That cannot be.
So then, Inga's scream. That was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have been picked back up for him after he died.
So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he had just had a nightmare. Then realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realize he was already dead. Then he saw his own body? Then her benevolence really did see a dead man running. I. Ah!
But then how did...
It explains why Maya didn't remember anything, but it doesn't explain why, who didn't remember.
Wasn't Maya tied up is what they said too? How did she get tied
Maya
up?
was tied up.
How did she get tied up?
Maybe she was tied up by... What if she was tied up by our lovely... It's either he himself tied himself up, or because the blood is under the chair and matched Dirk's, because it's under the chair, Dirk tied her up. Well, tied him up, which eventually let the thing be worn out and became her. Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime. How can this be? The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness? Gonna say no?
It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of the infallible arguments.
Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. Very well. Let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Talk about some really close shaves. Well, you can't get a closer shave than Headsman Branch Blades, that's for sure.
Trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted.
Still, you're able to fight back the Queen herself in there. Well, maybe with Miss Faye's help, I won't have to keep playing her game much longer. Speaking of which, did Shiro press the record button?
Yes.
I guess it's a little late to be asking. Alright, do you think she's well enough to testify?
She slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently. But that's all it was. She should be okay.
Barbed head, horn head. Oh, hello, Your Benevolence.
Princess Rafa, you're really impressive in there.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Kurain. And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground. And in doing so, you fulfilled your duty as a royal priestess.
It was all thanks to you and your friend. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path. So, you have my gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. I know, I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow? A horse? Or perhaps I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage. Well, I'll take that.
Yeah, sure.
That's okay, but your benevolence, your gratitude is more than enough.
How about actually paying us for our lawyer work for once? That'd be amazing.
No payment. But I thought you Americans liked massages. My technique was highly praised by my father, I'll have you know. Hey, you, lawyers. Where's the accused?
Where did Dirk go?
Huh, Dirk? That's a good question.
That's... I blew big time, AJ.
Dats? Shut up, you. What's going on? The scoundrel tried to escape with the accused. What? We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant?
I keep telling you, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but I lost track of him after that.
So Dirk's on the lam now?
Probably, but who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye.
Vanished.
You want to know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, I can't put MR in danger. I have to set her free before it's too late.
Huh. What? Don't tell me he's gone to rescue her.
But he doesn't know where she is. But that's what I am telling you. That's why I helped him escape in the first place. Why are you laughing about that?
You're gonna get arrested, man. Dats, do you realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done. Still, why do you choose to go rescue her now?
I also love how, like, when we first met Dats as Anonymous, I called that he'd be Larry Butts, and he's pretty much a Larry Butts character of his own right.
Pretty much.
Just a bumbling fool that does stuff and doesn't even realize the consequences of his actions. What do you think here?
Nana as Amara as Nana's in the coffin as we speak. So maybe he realized it and then went to check. The Royal Palace would be very much empty.
Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. You know, just in case he ended up chopping the block.
Why, Dirk? I thought you believed in me.
Ah, don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara. You'll see.
That's not the point, Dad. Listen, lawyer, let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. The trial will now resume. See that you're ready. Wait, the trial's still on, even without the defendant? Those were Her Eminence's orders, so you will return to the courtroom at once.
Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads.
How much does Maya know? May 19th, Maya. Now then, let us resume the trial at hand. Your Majesty, my client seems to have gone missing. What do you think, Your Eminence? Should we proceed without the accused?
Why not? My royal guard is searching for him as we speak. They shall find him soon enough, for they would not dare to keep me waiting.
Yes, but what about the law governing court proceedings?
Then I shall simply revise it. As ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following. Should the accused be an enemy of the crown, they may be tried in absentia. That doesn't seem right. It's like, oh, hey, we know this person is a criminal. Okay, we're just going to accuse them. They're not here or anything. Okay, they're found guilty. Okay, now we got to capture them and arrest them and execute them immediately.
Well, in that case, I guess there's no problem with proceeding.
I can't wait for her to pull out the. Once we start accusing her, I can't wait for her to pull out the. Her Royal Eminence cannot be accused of a crime.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. Which is exactly the same situation as, like, why didn't Lord Strongheart just declare himself not guilty? Then double jeopardy would take effect and he can't be accused. I find myself not guilty.
Will the witness, Miss Maya Fey, please approach the stand? I think even if she does that, though, there's a crowd of people waiting to take over. Chop all their heads off, you know?
Sorry to summon you like this, Maya.
Getting dragged out of bed and into court is not exactly a fun wake-up call, Nick. Sorry, Miss Fey. It was my idea. And you are?
Oh yeah, she hasn't met Apollo.
Has she not? All this time?
No.
Damn.
For as long as Phoenix has actually known Apollo, Maya has been in Karine.
True. All right. I'm Apollo Justice. It's nice to finally meet you. Oh, so you're Apollo. Nick told me all about you.
I love how I can't wait for Garan to be like, "Can we get on topic, please? This is not the time for idle chatter."
You're the new guy with the loud voice and a bit of an unreliable streak, right? Unreliable?
Well, that was 2 years ago. You've come a long way since.
So why was I called here anyway? Am I under arrest again?
Huh?
I guess no one's filled her in.
So she must not know about Inga's death? Question mark?
Probably not.
Well, she has been asleep the entire time.
Miss Fey, this is a trial for Dirk Sadmati, and you're here as a witness. What? Dirk's been arrested? But it's not exactly the reaction I was expecting. Miss Fey, you are suspected of playing a part in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. What? Someone allegedly forced you to channel the minister to obfuscate the time of his murder. At least, that is what the defense claims. Wait, what? How could you, Apollo? How did you even reach that conclusion? Sorry, but it's the only way this whole case makes any sense. Your understandable anger at the defense aside, will you testify, Miss Fey? Yes, Your Majesty. Swing.
Ding.
I don't have any idea what's going on, but I know I didn't channel Minister Inga. I didn't even have the chance to do something like that. Besides, I never go quietly along with some criminal's plan. Though, I guess there are some things I'd go quietly along with. That's not convincing.
Yeah, I think we need to press that last one.
Seems the witness doesn't believe she has ever channeled Justice Minister Inga.
And if her words prove true, defense, your entire argument becomes moot. Do you understand that? You do understand that, don't you?
Yes. Yes, of course. It doesn't seem like Miss Fey is lying.
Apollo. Mine's being awfully secretive about something just now.
But I guess I better dig a bit to try to get her open up to me first. Maybe she had some sort of interaction with Nana or something?
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? Maybe you just don't remember channeling him. Don't remember? I may be 28, but I'm not senile enough. Something's not right here. Miss Faye, you were confined to Amara's tomb the whole time, is that correct? Yes. But I wasn't conscious the whole time. Okay, then let me ask you something. Did you ever see Nana in the tomb? Dressed as Dirk? Huh? Is this some kind of joke? I think I'd remember if I saw something as crazy as that.
Plus, I doubt anyone would carry out a crime like that right in front of a potential witness.
I hate when he's right. She's also, like, out of the line of sight, too, where he is.
Hold it!
You didn't have a chance to channel him? Does channeling someone take a long time? Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty much instantaneous. But I was all tied up, literally. So there was no way for me to make the channeling wonder with my hands to do it. Right. I guess you really didn't channel Ingo then.
Maya, when mediums are done with a session, they can send the spirit back to the other world themselves, right?
Sure, unless they're still in training. Amateurs can get possessed by spirits sometimes. But full-fledged mediums can stay in a total control of a session. And they can send the deceased spirit away anytime they want. So I take it you can do that too, Miss Faye? Of course. It's a cinch for a new and improved Mystic Maya Faye, a spirit medium.
That's strange. You seem like the same old childish Maya to me.
Grr, I'll show you childish, Nick.
Hold it!
So you wouldn't channel spirits for unseemly purposes? Of course not. Spirit channeling is my bread and butter. And I take a lot of pride in my work. It's like, would you use any of your legal skills to commit a crime, Apollo?
I mean,
Well,
people have done that.
yeah. Until finger pointing and objecting become deadly, I don't see how they can be used. Wow, you're a regular Mr. Smarty Pants, just like Nick. Always at the ready with some sarcastic comeback.
I think I'll save my many objections for after the trial.
Yes, please. Anyway, I'd never go along with something like murder.
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're trying to hide something, Miss Faye. Didn't anyone teach you about respecting boundaries, Apollo? It's really rude to pry into a person's private affairs. Ah, sorry. I didn't realize, Wait. We're in a court of law. Yeah, I know. Then what was all about me being rude? I'm just doing my job. So please, just tell me, what exactly are you hiding? Sorry, but I promised Dirk I wouldn't say. You made a promise to Dirk. Mm-hmm. A pretty big one.
I think this is probably all. I think this is about all you're gonna get out of her.
Yeah.
Enough. The witness is denying that she channeled any spirits. Further questioning is pointless. It appears your little fiction has become soundly exposed for what it is.
You should listen to her, Apollo. Maya.
Maya, you do realize Dirk's going to be found guilty. If you know he's not guilty, you should probably help us out.
I don't even know why you suspected me in the first place. I mean, you don't have any evidence of me channeling Minister Inga, do you? Oh, evidence, huh? There's no point in even thinking about it, really. I don't use anything special to channel spirits, so there wouldn't be anything left behind.
It's true. Just like when she channeled a high priest. All Maya needs is her own body.
If the defense has no evidence to offer, I will have to end this cross-examination. What now? Even if she doesn't use any special items in the channeling itself, you'd think there would be something to complete the deception. Is there any proof that Justice Minister Inga was channeled?
I mean, we have witness testimony seeing him run after the time he supposedly died.
It would fall back on Rafa, because Rafa would have saw him and would have saw the stab wound closed. Right, but the cape was over the stab wound.
Well, that part has been disproven. We know Inga got stabbed in the chamber.
There. Yeah.
So Rafa wouldn't have seen any knife. But she saw him run at 2:30, which is after he died.
Yeah. Maybe that's a lack of evidence that there should be, you know what I mean? Like,
We'll go with it.
you bet there is. Really? Well now.
You're bluffing, I take it.
I'll be fine.
Will you be fine, though, Apollo?
Thanks, Phoenix, for the quick read. If we are right, then there must be some sort of proof to back us up. Time to do some serious thinking, Apollo Justice. Okay, we all know that when Rafa saw her father, he wasn't dressed like Miss Faye, right?
Right, because if he was, Rafa would have immediately known he was being channeled.
The button? So that means he was dressed in his usual suit when Rafa saw him.
Aha. Good thinking, Apollo. This might be the perfect angle to attack from.
All right, let's have an answer from the defense. What proof do you have that Miss Maya Fey channeled Justice Minister Inga? I think it's the button, because it was in the incense area.
Yeah, like, why is this in soot? So, like, we haven't discussed this yet, either.
Take that!
Is that a gemstone? We found this among the ashes of one of the tomb's incense burners. Does this gemstone ring any bells, Your Eminence?
What's that doing in the tomb?
Ah, so you do recognize it, but then, as his wife, how could you not recognize this gemstone button from your husband's jacket? Huh, I don't get what you're going with this. Channeling Minister Inga alone wouldn't be enough to fool someone like Princess Rafa. Especially if you were wearing your clothes. So you would have had to change into the minister's clothes before channeling him. Ah! Miss Faye, you used the minister's clothes as cover while going for his room to the tomb. Where you burned them once you no longer needed them. What?
Uh-oh. She seems genuinely surprised by that, Apollo.
Objection!
Miss Faye,
Yes?
do you know my husband's name?
It was, Inga Kurko, right?
That is correct. In part. But there's much more. Oh, his name's longer, isn't it? What is this? What the heck?
Oh, Lord.
Inga Karko Hakon Disnab Binabi Lagal or Mora Pompous Denat Israel is Kurain the third. It's really hard to string all of these together as to what the
I know Pompous is the last one. pompous, damn it, are... How could this man...
Oh, how could this man been a law? How could this man been?
Garm... Carkle, how could this man been a Laga Ormo pompous, damn it, already? I think it's already at the end. It's like a mad gap. Wait, how could this name... Hold on, go back. How could this name be any longer...
Oh, how could this name be any longer?
Or more... How could this name
be any longer or more pompous than it already is? What the heck is this?
Oh, God. That
is his true name.
Could it be any longer?
See, all we had to do is wait for Apollo's reaction. Due to its lengths, only a portion of it ever was made public. So, Miss Faye, did you know his true name?
No, I mean, how could I?
Precisely. Yet a medium must know both the face and true name of the one who seeks the channel.
Ah. So then, Miss Faye couldn't have channeled Minister Inga? That's what I've been saying this whole time. Why would I want to randomly channel some old guy I didn't know? And I didn't like, thanks to that last trial. I can't believe this.
Apollo, I really don't think Maya's lying. However, your line of reasoning still seems credible to me. Oh.
Maybe we're working off some... Wait, I agree. There's something tripping us up in the details. Maybe we're working off of some wrong assumption again. Apollo? I was thinking. Yeah? Since I didn't channel Minister Inga, is it possible that someone else did? Someone else. But who else could it have been?
It's still the only... Like, we know Rafa can't. Nana, we
Rafa
don't
can.
know.
Nana could be Amara. I still stand by that. She...
We don't have Amara's profile, so we can't really call out Amara for anything.
I haven't thought that far yet.
Such chatter is without merit. Let us move on, shall we?
Ugh. I don't care what Duran says. I'm gonna figure this out. If it wasn't Miss Faye, the Queen has an alibi then.
Paula, forget about who is capable of channeling spirits for a second.
I should consider the circumstances around the channeling, right?
Right. We know Rafa saw her father come running out of his private quarters. If he was being channeled at the time, who could it have been?
It'd have to have been someone who was in Inga's private quarters.
I.e., what we've been saying, Nana.
Yeah, Nana.
Well, I'm waiting defense. And you know how much I despise waiting.
Yeah, but... There's someone else besides Miss Faye who could have channeled Minister Inga. There's just one more person, and they were in Inga's private quarters. That person is our only hope now.
So defense believes there was another. Let's have your very serious answer then.
With pleasure.
Horned Devil. Who could have channeled Minister Inga? I mean, there's really not any other potential ideas other than Nana.
The only other one could be the little boy, and I don't think he could do it.
Take that!
He's the only.
Nana?
Your Eminence said it yourself. And then there's her benevolence's statement. She said that Nana disappeared right after she entered Minister Inga's private quarters. The room from which Minister Inga himself came running out of not long afterwards.
You are not seriously suggesting...
It's the only thing that makes sense. Nana channeled Minister Inga and left his private quarters thereafter. That's why no one has seen her since. And why only the minister's shoe prints were found outside his residence. Ah, no way!
It's gotta be it. Nana must have somehow channeled the minister. Because Nana would know his full name.
Yeah.
100% she would.
All of the circumstantial evidence has fallen into place. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't claim Nana isn't connected to this case somehow. In light of this, the defense calls Nana to the stand. Well, Your Eminence.
Very well then. Let us call Nana to testify.
Yes, now we can finally crack this case wide open. Let us adjourn while the witness is summoned.
There is no need. Nana is in the waiting lobby.
What? Nana's here? Thought she'd gone missing.
It seems she was feeling unwell and simply wished to rest undisturbed. But her concern for Rafa brought her here today.
She took time off without Rafa's knowledge or consent.
I'm betting there's more to her disappearing act than meets the eye, Apollo.